इंग्लिश से तेरे होगा मैं इंग्लिश से टेक्स्ट नहीं इंडिया रीजन हां इंग्लिश से कितने थे इंग्लिश हो ना कर तो बोलो दे अरे मतलब एमओवी तक किती एक्स्ट्रॅक्ट एमओवी ची किती एक्स्ट्रॅक्ट एमओवी ची किती एक्स्ट्रॅक्ट एमओवी ची किती पहिल्यांदा त्याची झाली मिस्टेक एक दोन
Yes, good evening to all of you. So today full strength, shall we? बाद में कर लो ना. In between the lectures, they should be properly arranging. I had completed agriculture fully. That I'll do it later. Agriculture is completely done. Correct, Anna? So I need cash crops we have completed. What is the next then? What is that? Oil seeds.
No, that is done.
That is 2 cash crops only. Tea and coffee. Tea we have. Okay. So put the heading tea in your notebook. We will write directly, also known as plantation crop. Give me one volume so that we can jump start. Did we do jute as well on that day? What happened? Not well. Cold. Feeling. अच्छा, tooth feeling. क्या बोलते हैं? तुम्हारा दोस्त नया करके टेंशन में है. Right on. Tea. Most important beverage crop in India. Most important beverage crop in India. Most important beverage crop in India. Read this girl, my God. Most important beverage crop in India, normally grown along the foothills, in northeast, along the foothills, in northeast and southern parts of India. Second point. Tea is also referred as plantation crop since acres and acres of land only tea plantation. Acres and acres of land only tea plantation. Next. Climatic conditions. It thrives well on THRIVES, thrives well on regions with 150 to 375, 150 to 375, careful, centimeters of rainfall and the temperature between 24 to 30 degrees Celsius. Next, it requires forest soil with rich humus and iron content. Forest soil with rich humus, or I think some people pronounce it humus, correct? Humus only. Achha. And iron content. Now you can relax. Let me explain this to you. Even you were absent last class. No. Present, is it? What happened to you, man? Why absent?
Ganpati out of town.
Ganpati out of town to Achha, you went out of town. Sentence master. Now Ganpati is one which gives more importance to studies. 90% skip the studies. Okay, that's okay. Now you remember T for what? We don't drink tea, so better don't ask anything. Anyone? Tea lovers here? Nobody? कोई भी नहीं. अरे बोलेगा तो भी कोई तरह punishment नहीं है. पक्का? Then what you? Only? Starbucks. तो उसमें क्या मिलता है? वो फालूदा थोड़ी मिलता है. वो भी तो ठीक है. He's very smart. Only Starbucks. तो उधर भी वही तो है. But in a very समझ गया. हम लोग भी उधर जाते हैं तो फिर वो लाठे, मोछा, खोखा नाम रखते हैं. ऐसा डरावना नाम रखते हैं. फिर बोलते हैं कि 600 रुपए हुआ. बोले क्या है? बोले चाय का. अच्छा हाँ. क्योंकि इतना बड़ा बीकर देगा तो फिर उतने ही पैसे चार्ज करेंगे. ठीक है. Now for you guys to say tea, India is one of the original homeland for tea. Do you accept? क्यों?
Because it grows.
But Britishers have infused in India that Britishers only taught us how to grow tea. But to be very clear, there are the hills of Darjeeling, interior parts of Assam. Even before the arrival of British, tea was grown. If I grow some nook and corner of Sanpada and you are living in Kargar and no transport, no communication, nothing. But suddenly Britishers have come, advertising transport to China also. Then they say, this is my produce. Even today, India has a golden, we can say phase of exporting tea. I remember 1979-80, the tea price of Darjeeling tea, 19,001 rupees per kg exported. Student told me, what does it mean? 100 grams, you have to pay close to 2,000 rupees. 100 gram. Can we imagine then we drink tea, a cup of is it then? No. So we have today black tea, oolong tea, and then yellow. Yellow matlab India mein nahi hai. India se banta hai aur it goes to Europe. So what is this tea important? I think for the teacher you should ask what is tea. I say it is my petrol, diesel, kerosene, whatever. And I run on tea. Energy drink for me, correct. So I remember during my times, early youth time, when I used to lecture morning 7:30 to evening 8:45 every day. Tea was to be offered, and then I will drink it after becoming very cold. So many of my teachers used to say, "Isko fek do mat piyo." तो फायदा क्या है? अभी मुझे पता चलता है कि when that hot tea touches the, I think in science I don't know whether you want epiglottis करके कुछ है, तब जाके हमको ये throat में थोड़ा सा सूदी है. Plus, many doctors say tea is a best beverage if you drink it in a best possible manner. Boil the water to the max, put the tea leaves, close it. If possible, put one mint, not mint, that pudina, what do you call it? Pudina ko ilaichi bolते हैं. Wait, I'll tell you in English. And then if you could have a little bit of lime squeeze.
Some mint.
Mint, correct? Then a squeeze of a lime. Then you see that black tea will become golden brown. And have some samosas and sir, wo portion mein nahi hai. ठीक है, खरीद के ला. Then you really love what is tea. As if I'm going to 5-star hotel to have a cup of tea, they charge me 1,500 to 3,000 rupees. And ऊपर से हमारा गाँव वाला बोलता है चाय बनाया किधर है, दूध अलग था, शक्कर अलग था, मैं खुद बना के पिया, और ऊपर से 3,000 भी ले लिया मेरे से. बोले भाई साहब वो 5-star में ऐसे ही होता है. So today I say India को अगर कोई closest competitor है, it is China, है ना? So we always believe India, especially this Assam, Darjeeling, West Bengal. You go to South, Coimbatore, Nilgiris, Karnataka. Karnataka, in fact, we have a very popular, not tea, but coffee called as Kurg. Suna? K-O-R-G. It's world famous coffee. Italy and Spain सब जाता है, but बनता है India में ही. So we always believe either tea or you coffee. Say Indians are amazing fan. शायद आपके घर में भी मम्मी पापा या जो भी है पीते रहेंगे, I don't know. But I'm a little bit of a hardcore fan of tea. The problem arises only with that small substance called caffeine. What is that caffeine? It's small. You will get some headache-like feeling if you don't drink at the same time the next day. Tea has less, whereas coffee has more. But to re-energize you, हमारा बच्चा Red Bull, Black Bull क्या क्या नहीं पीता पता नहीं. That is too dangerous for your health, for especially growing children. But they say tea is one beverage. What is beverage? A drink which will help you too. If you heard about a place called Brazil, what's it, Brazil? They develop a substance called cocoa. Suna hai? No, what is cocoa?
The seed which.
From that seed, we get chocolate.
I remember my first years of schooling when my friend told, chocolate पिएगा क्या? बोला नहीं खाएगा. नहीं chocolate पिएगा. ये कौन सा language में बोल रहा है? जो से बंगाली fellow जल कौबे, मतलब जल पीने का कौबे नहीं है. मुझे लगा ये ऐसे कुछ बोल रहे हैं. Next day he showed me one dairy milk डब्बा in which it is liquid chocolate. वाह ये कौन सा है? तब मुझे मालूम पड़ा chocolate in that form also we get it. And he was right, drinking chocolate. Correct. So we always believe the children have to be taught what is tea, at least for the chapter. So it is one of the plantation crop. Why it is a plantation crop? Acres and acres of land, only one. I'll show you very soon one of the tea plantation, which is very old, right from the British time. It's in Balmore district. वही एक ही video दिखाता हूँ. It goes through different process. Plucking, you might have seen. Then they say withering, removing the moisture. So different stages they've given. Before you want to look at the video first, or shall we finish up the answer? We'll finish it off and then look at the video. Come on now. Processing of tea. The exam में आता है stages. Methods of cultivation नहीं चाहिए, directly processing. India produces black, green, oolong, careful with the spelling. India produces black, green, oolong. And what is the last tea? Processing में दिया गया है.
Sir, what do you think of food?
मैं बताता हूँ. And brick tea. I think brick tea मेरा स्कूल डेज में मेरा घर पे होता था. ब्रिक मतलब ये आपका डेयरी मिल्क का जो चॉकलेट से ना कैसे रहता पतला वाला. टी का भी वैसे ही रहता था. तोड़ने का 2 मतलब और डाल देने. And when it boils, that block will melt. And black tea तो मालूम ही है, which we put it black in color. And green tea, I think normally ladies side have the good habit of maintaining. मैं एक या 2 बार पिया, मुझे लगा it should be vomited the next time only. And there is some other reason which I don't like. Green tea. weight loss. पता नहीं वो होता है कि नहीं होता. ठीक है. नहीं, 1 कप ऑफ ग्रीन टी पिया, उधर जाके फिर 15 पराठा मारेगा, है ना, वो भी देशी घी के साथ, फिर कहाँ से वेट लॉस होगा? हाँ, correct. So then this oolong tea, I think very few people know. टी का ऐसा, it's not ऐसा नहीं रहेगा, ऐसा लंबा लंबा रहेगा. आपने देखा? Have you seen this tamarind when it is in that leaf form? वैसे ही रहेगा, it is नहीं देखा. So not the normal kind of a tea granules. It is little bit lengthy. You go to any tea shop in Chembur, we have one good fellow. Even Navi Mumbai में रहेगा. उसको बोला लॉन्ग टी, वो बताएगा. आप बोलेगा ये चाइनीज टी है, नहीं इंडियन टी है, बट कम जन पीता है. इट्स लाइक वो क्या बोलता है इन आवर लैंग्वेज, चाय पे चर्चा. डार्क ब्राउन तो ऐसा पतला पतला, हाँ इतना इतना ही छोटा छोटा रहता है. But it is tea only, but this is oolong tea. Now, how do I explain the word? First is withering, second is rolling, next is fermentation, next is drying and blending. Now, I don't know, the first tea Indian people loved, it was the Taj, Taj. And I still remember the tabla wala called Zakir Hussain. पता नहीं जिंदा है या He's alive. अच्छा, hopefully he's there. उनका dad था, dad and son used to come. I think dad perished, but that son is there. Taj was the first tea which came up with that silver-like foil, aroma sealed packing. मतलब जो taste वहाँ बनता है वही इधर भी आता है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं. I remember going once or twice to some of parts of Coimbatore, and it was a lovely visit unless and until I start vomiting when the van was coming down, because that hills had round pin bend. जाते समय बार बार ड्राइवर पूछ रहा आपको कुछ नहीं हो रहा, वो चला ना था क्या बार बार पूछ रहा. कोयम्बटूर नहीं, that is different, that also I got. उधर टेस्ट नहीं है. And it had, I remember, 375 bends. You understand what a round fin bend is? It's very sharp, and this fellow is an expert driver. No application of the brakes at all. बस रेस पे पैर दिया. It is going zigzag zigzag. फिर ऊपर गया, फाइल्स का काम था, मेरा कजन का डैड उधर काम करते थे. देन रिटर्निंग बोला लंच वंच हुआ, मतलब वेरी गुड सर, जरा अच्छे से बैठना. और क्या अच्छे से बैठना, चला तो लगी. I think after 15 minutes then I started. Still he did not stop into a nearby tea shop. I was doing all kinds of harakiri things, but first time वो होता ही है. Then बोला सर आप चाय लेंगे, बोला हाँ मैं नहीं पीता चाय, पी के देखो. एक तो it was very evening, I think 6 or 6:30, severely chill, and plus, and I had a good dose of that, which I don't like in my life. And then he offered me one small cup of tea from the nearby small tea shop, and let me be very sure it was one of the best tea I've ever done, because till the eyesight goes full of green leaves. Second, the tea was so refreshing and it was very fresh also. Because हम जो अभी टी अभी आप तो पीते नहीं, तो when it is packed, when it is transported, when it is made, and वैसे भी मम्मी बनाती है तो देने तक के उनके भी मतलब अपने आप चाय चल के नहीं आता है, मुझे जाना पड़ता है. The taste loses, but let me be very sure, Indians are one good tea lovers, correct? So it is has a good domestic demand, and Europeans they love the tea blend बोलते हैं उसका जो रहता है, produced in India. But again, China अपना सस्ता और टिकाऊ टी को बेचता रहता है, तो China is a global competitor to India. Okay, so let's write the process. First, you write on withering. The leaves are dried either in the sun or using machines to reduce its moisture content. Close to 50%. Actually, उधर बताएंगे वो लोग. Moisture content close to 50%. Second, rolling. Twisting the leaves and exposing their juice to the air, encouraging fermentation. Next, fermentation. Next process here. The leaves are ready for fermentation after the rolling process, PROCESS, full stop. Fermentation reduces the tannic acid. It's all from the volume. I'm just changing some lines. Tannic acid by 50% and enriches its flavor. Next, you write drying. Use of machines inside the bracket above 100 degree. ये सब मैं वो वीडियो से बोल रहा हूँ. 132 डिग्री पे ड्राई होता है. Above 100 degrees centigrade with complete extraction of moisture. Also change in its color. Green से वो एकदम brown बन जाता है. Also change in its color. Bracket में डाल दो black. Last, blending. Expert blenders and tea testers. ये मैं बाद में बताता हूँ. Who are these tea testers? Expert blenders and tea testers are mainly responsible for blending the tea giving its special aroma. Hey, did we use this word earlier? Aroma. Hey, what is the meaning of this word aroma? Fragrance. Correct. आज जाके एटलीस्ट आपका मम्मी ने टी का डिब्बा रखा रहेगा ना, घर पे जाके ओपन करके मुझे नेक्स्ट लेक्चर बताना एरोमा है या और कुछ है. यू लाइक एटलीस्ट नोबडी ड्रिंक टी. तो फिर पहले क्यों शर्मा रहा था? विदाउट मिल्क इज इट?
No, I make it, but I don't drink it.
मतलब तुम्हारा तुम पे भरोसा नहीं है कि क्या बना है. हाँ, और अरे बिल्कुल क्या बनाते हैं सच्ची. आजकल की लड़कियां it's not that hard to make, but it's very hard to drink. You make it. What is that white color substance you put?
Come on,
It's okay, correct. No, correct. It's like I asked my some family members, you know how to boil the hot water? हाँ मैं करते हैं. मतलब hot water को फिर से क्यों boil करते हैं? And Tanushree, Mihali. What happened to Mihali, dear? Not well at all. Put your head down, don't write. Now, seriously, I'm saying your face is also not well. So, when I'm saying this tea taster, it's a government recognized job where your work is to nothing. When work is to nothing, with payment क्यों देगा? अभी बता रहा हूँ क्या दे रहा है. You have to bring that tea, and there are some 53 to 56 tests. The person has to test that tea. Uska color, uska blending, uska taste, uska granules, uska moisture. I don't know. ये मैंने एक बार books में पढ़ा. When he or she gives the green signal, then only the tea can be launched into the market. अच्छा, एक कप चाय के पीछे इतना काम है हमको नहीं मालूम. ऐसा Taj might have been certified by that tea taster. Correct? Unless until government doesn't give you green signal, your tea leaves cannot launch in India, at least. Itna kyun strict hai? Because many people avoid that जैसे मुझे होता है, it's like acidity to my highest level. I have a very good friend, come doctor, बोलता don't worry, तेरे साथ acidity भी जाएगा. बोला हाँ thank you. बोले इधर क्या बोलते हो यार? Don't worry यार, तू नहीं रहेगा तो acidity कैसे रहेगा? बोला हाँ ये भी बात बराबर है. How could he say? For last 15 to 17 years I've been teaching. एक तो teaching का timing ऐसा रहता है, फिर खाना भी नहीं. And I have this, many people say they have a problem with the throat. At least by God's grace and by your love and blessings, throat का तो issue नहीं होता, but stomach के through, some people say the voice comes from here or from the abdomen. So sir आपका जो है ना second type, तो I have lot of this क्या बोलते हैं ना acidity. तो पहले मुझे बहुत टेंशन रहता था ये क्या है, तो डॉक्टर ने बोला कुछ नहीं, लेक्चर का पूरा टाइम पानी पीते रहे. बोला फिर तू भाषण थोड़ी देगा, पानी तो दूर, I don't even have any stuff, अभी थोड़ा सा ये चाय बिस्किट्स कुछ लेता हूँ. So this tea will add to the acidity. Especially we Indians put that milk and everything, boil as in boil and boil. And to be very frank, by God forbid it falls onto the skin, human skin. That is the best poison. And I've seen some of the old people, बस वो टी का वो ऊपर का धुआं भी निकलता, उतना धुआं के साथ अंदर भी चले जाता. गरम पीने का. Correct, Anna? It's their own. But then also, tea has more of positive advantages than negative. Instead of you drink whatever cold drinks, I don't know, whatever you drink, कभी ऐसे मम्मी को बोलना है, हमारे सर ने ना टी बनाया हमको सिखाया. गर्म पानी, leaves, mint leaf, छोटा mint leaf is very good. And थोड़ा सा lime, because some people have that headache. And जैसे lime squeeze करेगा, it becomes golden color. And वो taste कुछ अलग ही रहता है. I love it. But मेरे घर में ऐसा टी मुझे छोड़ के किसी को पसंद नहीं. So we always believe that tea company is an age-old business and it is a profitable business. Okay? So that is what that blender and tea taster. Let's show you that small video. You will have most process here.
Thank you very much. It was pleasure. Thank you.
अच्छा ये flavor. She's the owner of that chai cafe brand. Chai.
So you know Chayos?
हाँ, very interesting. Date we have. I've gone there.
And it is much known as tea, your favorite cup.
She is
Growing tea and processing it is
Lakshmi.
an art demanding much care and detail. Tea bushes are planted during monsoons. Regular application of foliar, which is a mixture of chemicals such as zinc and magnesium, provides for the health of these bushes. Tea leaves, or the produce, are plucked almost throughout the year. Produce is particularly high post-monsoons due to a spurt in growth. Hand plucking is a traditional method involving hundreds of women plucking tea leaves with their hands. Each of these women will contribute up to 21 kilograms of plucked tea leaves at the end of their working day. Hand plucking is today being supplemented by hand sharing. This method has been introduced to counter the effects of large-scale migration by labor communities to the big cities.
This weighs around 60 to 70 grams. Self-sharpening blade.
Let's pause it for a while.
So it's give much faster cutting.
You remember now the labor migration, now they started using this hand cutter. Laborers from these mountainous areas have went for some sorts of jobs better than this. If not, many a times I have personally seen the women's and the men's are also involved in per day, कितना बोला उसने? 21 kilo. And जितना उसका leaf stock है ना, उतना ही better. जितना नीचे जाएगा quality खराब हो जाएगा. And normally the tea plants grow at a height of close to 5 feet or around, but they keep pruning it. Not in my pruning, vertical pruning होना है, horizontal. ये तो mountain slopes है, correct? अगर वो vertical grow हो गया, can you imagine the ladies climbing a ladder? And that will be a difficult job, which वो नहीं कर सकते. That is why it is regularly pruned, and that is a machine. Keep the mouse to you. Why that?
Hand plucking is a traditional method involving hundreds of women plucking tea leaves with their hands. Each of these women will contribute up to 21 kilograms of plucked tea leaves at the end of their working day. Hand plucking is today being supplemented by hand sharing. This method has been introduced to counter the effects of large-scale migration by labourer communities to the big cities.
This weighs around 650 grams. And a self-sharpening plate, carbon tip plate. So it's give much faster cutting. So right? Yeah.
The plucked tea leaves are transported to the nearest factory. This particular factory I am visiting belongs to the Ballywood Plantations and Industries Limited. This building is around 135 years old, but is replete with modern machinery. I take a stroll and get a closer look at how tea is processed here. The general manager at Ballywood, Jeevan Bediasa, is a friendly gentleman showing me around. He explains how the processing begins with women.
Within is a process where you remove only the surface moisture. The moisture, say about 80%, will be removed to 6%, and only 20% is removed. But that takes almost about 16 hours. When you roll it, when it presses the form, okay.
And this is withering, he's explaining.
So it releases slowly.
50%.
Withering increases caffeine content in the leaves. These leaves are then sifted and shredded.
If any particle is there, then gets separated out.
The shredded leaves still seem fresh and moist. They fill out the air with a heady scent of cut green leaves. The humidity level inside the factory is rather high, as this aids the processing.
Now we have 5 bags of finishing cuts with crushed air and curl.
That's so beautiful.
You can just see the roller here. So that's where crushing, carrying, and curling takes place. After crushing, carrying, and curling, it gets into the fermentation area. The fermentation depends on the temperature and the weather conditions. If the weather conditions rain, we need more time for fermentation. In summer, we need shorter time for fermentation. Fermentation is nothing but oxidation.
Enzymatic oxidization activates antioxidant polyphenols, which are known to be responsible for the color, flavor, and benefits popularly associated with tea.
What is permanent? Already the colors change so much. Yes, already permanent.
Infusion, I told you, when you taste your tea, your color of infusion is very important. You have to have coppery brown. So if it is under fermented, you don't get a good tea. If it is more fermented, you don't get good tea. So we have to balance it. Now we do both drum fermentation as well as slow fermentation. Drum fermentation half an hour, then slow fermentation 1 hour. Then it went into the dryer. Now once it goes into the dryer, it's fired at a very high temperature of 130 degrees centigrade. Okay? By the time from the dryer discharge comes out, the moisture will be only 2%.
Wow, okay, that's 55% of moisture taken out.
Within 18 minutes. The output of the dryer is 600 kilos per hour.
And there are different shapes and sizes.
Now after drying, then it comes into another filter where the dust and leaf gets separated.
Okay. Dust grains at Ballywood are machine sorted into
fully powdered like
red dust, red
different
dust, and
sizes.
peckle dust. And leaf grains are machine sorted into peckle fannings, broken peckle, and flowery peckle.
Their sizes,
Each of these brings a slightly varied strength and flavor to the final cup of tea you and I enjoy. In the final phase of tea processing, each grade is winnowed to allow only the denser particles to be taken into the packaged produce. The lighter particles are used to recondition non-premium tea in future processing cycles. Tea is now finally bulked, which means that the produce under a single grade but for different days is mixed together. This mix is then packaged and ready to be shipped to buyers. And that is the story of how the humble tea leaf transforms into the golden.
So what are this is a tea taster.
I enjoyed that.
It's our pleasure, and I hope you should have enjoyed your stay in this and critical factory.
Absolutely, absolutely. Definitely learned quite a bit about tea and processing as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure.
She's Lakshmi Rathek, the owner of that brand. So understood what it is tea? Okay. Let's proceed. Coffee is not there in the portion. Am I correct? Coffee is not there. Come on, say yes or no. And just check. Because in some schools, majority batches that have completed, they said coffee is being removed. Huh? Sure. If you have, tell me, I'll teach. If you don't have, then we'll go ahead with the next chapter.
So it's only one thing in this.
Then did we do jute? And then write down jute. Nobody said. Write down jute. Cotton is also there. Achha, I'm moving last to first. Okay, I'll explain both, then we'll go ahead. Now look here. Now when I use the word cotton, you tell me, what is the special importance of cotton in a country like India? Uska क्या importance है? India being a dry, tropical, hot country, the domestic demand for cotton is high. However you fancy your quality of dress, majority पहला question क्या पूछा cotton का है क्या? क्यों? Hot. I said we have this black soil, correct? In Maharashtra itself, supports cotton. And let me be very sure, cotton is the original crop produced in India. In fact, cotton is the original homeland for India. Sorry, I'm just saying, India is the original homeland for cotton. And no doubt our history textbook has been flooded by English history. All thanks to, है ना? नहीं समझा क्या बोला? All the way from London, they came for what? Cotton only. They have places called Leeds and Manchester, the industrial advanced part of London or UK, not London, UK. When the machine started eating all the cottons, not eating, using, they wanted more cotton. So they found out in a map it is India. Not only cotton, they understood that it is a ready market. Our cotton used to go to London, cloth was made and same cloth come back and they sold it at a very cheap price against the Indian cotton cloth. Indian cotton cloth was rich, at the same time costly. Why? Handmade cotton. And that was machine made. This is imperialism, let us bring back. So what is good thing about cotton? Labor oriented industry. Plucking, sewing, coloring, dyeing, okay. So it is best suited for a country like India. And to be very frank, cotton of India has a very high international demand even today. If you remember the shirts like we have Louis Philippe, I don't know, then Crest and so on. But Arrow Fabrics, that is Anand company, has a very rich cotton and shirts. 90% of the Indian cotton shirts are imported by US. So that is the good demand of cotton. We have Maharashtra, Gujarat. If I say Gujarat, more of cotton producing less, cotton processing more. Ahmedabad, Surat, Vadodara, whatever you take. And Maharashtra itself is one good producer of cotton. What is this jute? If I use the word jute, it is nothing but, we say the gunny bags that you might have seen, the coarse and the rough material. Okay?
The rice bags.
The rice bags, correct, gunny bags. It is jute. Jute is the next important fabric, or we can say, one which is important. But today, jute has lost its importance, all thanks to the use of plastic bags. Okay? Now the government is slowly and steadily banning this. You don't know what is jute bags are? अगर आप कभी ये silk house में गया है parents के साथ, wooden handle डाल के एक बड़ा bag देता देखो. कभी देखा है? South में very popular है. ऐसा thick material रहेगा. If not your choir matter जो बाहर दरवाजे के बाहर दूध डालता है, which is में एक तो कॉयर का रहता है वो कोकोनट का ऊपर का, वो नहीं, दूसरा. I'll show you the video. India was one of the leading producer, but slowly and steadily people like you and me don't like, sir, ये इतना मोटा कौन लेके जाएगा? So plastics have taken over. Not only India has lost its place, the people who are involved in jute production also lost their job. Today we have a tiny country called Bangladesh, which is a leading producer of jute. आज भी बंगाल में चलता है jute cultivation, but it doesn't have a big demand. But now the government of India slowly has introduced handloom, handicrafts commodity. देखा है वो bags बनता है, ladies love that bag which are made out of jute. So we have carpets which is worth rupees 5,000, 50,000, even lakhs. So today it is even exported, the commodities. So today, slowly and steadily, government of India has given importance to the jute. So we will be going with jute first, and that is one more thing that I forgot. We got jute as the golden fiber of India. Any idea why it is golden fiber? Two reasons. One, when it is fully matured, it appears from a distance golden brown color. Correct? Second, it is a commodity of a major export now. So it brings in valuable what? Valuable export में क्या मिलता है? 4x. So we can say it is a golden fiber of India. Correct? चलिए, let's write for jute. Okay. अच्छा, instead of writing, shall we mark it? I think we have less time. Maybe next lecture I'll mark for you guys. Who's involved with this? Give me the pencil. Yours. So, don't know what a pencil is that? So jute, open bracket, long, soft, shiny fiber, spun into coarse, strong threads. Fuck, no, it's okay. Hopefully the teacher doesn't have any heart issues problem. Fiber and plant. Commonly, it's okay. It's okay. I know that you are such a sweet boy. अच्छा यही गिरा? Oh my God! दे. I remember Nerul branch ना. You were there or not there on that day? वो broke the glass. वो कौन था वो लड़का? All fancy boys. Underline that word. It is known as golden fiber because of its color and value of foreign exchange. Temperature put into bracket 24 to 25 degree. You understand average ना? हाँ वो भी underline कर लो. Rainfall 150 to 200. Light sandy or clayey loams. ये what are loams? वो crunch जैसा रहेगा. मतलब ऐसा proper soil नहीं रहेगा. ऐसा लगेगा it's stone, but if you beat with one slash, it will powder.
So it is a combination of sand,
Silt and clay. That is also correct. Oh, good. Methods of cultivation: jute are commonly prepared through crop sown in February on lowlands. हाँ ये याद रखो, March and June में uplands में and February में lowlands में, ठीक है? Sowing seed is done, drilling चाहिए. Harvested from July. Harvested the plants, put in ponds for retting. What is retting? You write, it is coarse. उसके लिए उसको डुबाना पड़ता है पानी में. ये मैं भी दिखाता हूँ आपको. We got time. Then 20 to 25 days the bark is peeled off. What is bark? उसका जो ऊपर का जो layer है peel होता है और एकदम thread के जैसा बन जाए. And that time it is golden brown. That is why it is whatever. After washing and drying, pressed into bales and transported to mills. What are bales? That small like thread में बांध के उसको transport कर देते हैं. Now come down to cotton. Distribution. Very important. West Bengal. Put a star mark for West Bengal. And up till Tripura, that's enough. Then come down to cotton. Most important fiber. China is the leading producer. Temperature put into bracket. Now who can tell me? Underline frost-free days. उधर लिखो. Dampen the cotton. You want in में dampening? और dampen होगा तो क्या होगा उसमें? Insects जल्दी बैठ जाएगा. And to be very frank, cotton में अगर एक बार insect बैठ गया, it can take away the entire yield within 2 days or 3 days. पूरा 4 एकड़ 3 एकड़ एक ही साथ खा जाएगा. So ये 200 days of frost free मतलब क्या है? Dampness नहीं रहना चाहिए. अगर frost पकड़ा, cotton is dead. एक time था कि we used to have cotton trees. अभी ना we have cotton plants. देखा है? ऐसा plant जैसा रहेगा when it buds out ना, ऐसा 3 balls जैसा रहेगा. Like tea also in Maharashtra I've seen, they pluck it with the hand only. Cotton plucking both. Then underline 50 to 75 well distributed rainfall, black soil and laterite and alluvial. The seeds are sown by broadcast and drills. You know what are broadcasting? Just hand से और ड्रिलिंग मतलब फनल जैसा रहेगा जिसमें सीड्स डाला रहेगा जैसे जैसा ट्रैक्टर आगे बढ़ेगा at regular distance one seed will fall. Sowing is mostly done before the onset of rain. What is onset?
Before the rain.
Start. Begins. Can you say the month then?
June.
June?
Before June.
May.
ऊपर लिखा है देखो I don't know. अच्छे से देखो एक. Confirm? क्या है? You guys don't know what is. Sure. ठीक है. Harvesting. Crop is harvested in October. Cotton crops ripen. What is ripen? You write above, fully ready. And burst into white, fluffy, shiny balls of fiber. What is that? ऐसा रहेगा round. शायद आपने महाराष्ट्र में देखा भी रहेगा एकदम shiny रहेगा. That is cotton. Harvested in 3 to 4 pickings as the balls mature. What is picking? मतलब एक बार ये plant ready हो जाता है. It can give you 3 times. एक बार आपने पूरा crop का picking कर लिया. Maybe next 2 to 3 weeks one more cotton उसमें लगेगा. फिर और एक cotton लगेगा. But you have to keep adding manures, fertilizer वो सब करना पड़ेगा. No need to cut the plant. समझा? 2 to 3 pickings from the same plant. It's like when you get the mangoes, do you cut the trees next? No, it can give you. Like in my hometown, my not now, my cousins are there. बोलता है कि एक बार coconut tree ready हो जाता है ना, next 15 years it will give you coconut. 15 years. आपको सिर्फ पानी ही देना और कुछ नहीं से वो नीचे कचरा गिरता है ना उसी में. हाँ, फिर कोकोनट का अलग, फिर उसका जो थ्रेड बनाते हैं वो अलग, फिर ट्री जब काटते हैं वो अलग. मतलब यार तुम लोग करते हाँ थोड़ा गरीब है मतलब कितना कोकोनट ट्री है 200 है 250 है हम लोग गिनता नहीं उसको. तो फिर करते हैं हाँ बस तेरे जैसा मंथली प्रोफेशन नहीं है ना हम लोग कमाता नहीं बच्चों बैठनारे से साथ तो सीरियसली उससे भी ज्यादा ये है बनाना ट्री देखा है. हाँ दैट इज द रिचेस्ट बिजनेस. एंड बनाना ट्री का स्पेशलिटी क्या है? स्पर्ट्स आउट वेरी क्विकली. हाँ एंड एक लगाया ऑटोमेटिकली ग्रोज इनटू 10. उसका लाइफ पीरियड शॉर्ट रहता है बट बनाना का स्टेम, उसका फ्लावर्स, उसका लीव्स एंड एवरीथिंग गोज फॉर सेल. हैव यू एनी टाइम ऑब्जर्व्ड व्हाई इन अ साउथ इंडियन आई डोंट नो महाराष्ट्र आल्सो they tie banana plant only for a marriage entry में. क्यों?
सत्यनारायण पूजा.
हाँ बट क्यों कोकोनट ट्री क्यों नहीं, मैंगो ट्री नहीं? ये बनाना का क्या स्पेशल है? In Hindu mythology, it is understood the good things of banana is a good omen for you. You understand omen ना? मतलब आपका फैमिली भी बढ़े अच्छे से फल फूले उसीलिए उसको बांधते हैं. मैंगो लीव्स भी बांधते हैं साउथ इंडियन. अभी तो सब ये हो गया मशीन्स आ गया. आई रिमेम्बर ड्यूरिंग आवर स्कूल डेज आई यूज्ड टू सी मैंगो लीव्स को ड्राई लीव्स ही है वैसा रोज बांधते हैं बिकॉज मैंगो लीव्स आर गुड अब्जॉर्प्शन ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. ये मैंने एक साइंस टीचर से पूछा. So in those days machines were not there. So with the 100-200 जन आएगा तो carbon dioxide ना. So that's why they tie every corner that mango leaves because it can absorb the carbon dioxide. Because this is what our Hindu mythology. ये जैसे Maharashtrian culture में तुलसी plant रखते हैं. Even the wind which crosses the tulsi plant and touches your skin, it is very good. नीम प्लांट. अभी जैसे मेरा घर में बहुत था, मैं बचपन में जाता था मेरे डैड के सामने एक को इधर से काटता रहता था. नहीं चाहिए ये कचरा. डैड बोलेगा जरा भी दिमाग है कि नहीं? बोला आई विल कट इट, आई डोंट लाइक ऑल दिस. जैसे नीम प्लांट इज द बेस्ट इन फ्रंट ऑफ योर हाउस. ऑल द पेस्ट एंड अदर थिंग द rodents वो नहीं आएगा. नीम लीव्स आर सो गुड फॉर योर हेल्थ. आई रिमेम्बर माय डैड यूज्ड टू टेक 1 boiled cup of water, put that 2-3 neem leaves and put it in your scalp and have a shampoo like thing. Next 15 to 20 days no dandruff, nothing. Mind your hair is also so good. तो थोड़ा बदबू जैसा रहता है. My dad used to eat that small red color. But that is very difficult. But also एक दिन में एक खा ले बस. So this is what we say Indian medicines are right from our trees and plants. Even tulsi is very good for your health. Okay. After harvesting, cotton passes through following process. Let's write 1. Cotton has been picked, machined by hand or ginned. Not in by ginning, jo Gandhi ji ka chalka say. Seeds may be crushed to yield oil, that is put to a cotton lint, that is fiber, baled for transport for manufacturing, that is 3. The fibers are washed and then combed for rope-like mass of fibers, that is 4. Silver is fed into spindles and spun to make cotton yarn, that is 5. Okay, varieties. ये उसका डाल दो long staple में star mark डाल दो. उधर नीचे लिखो best quality. तो long staple cotton है. Gujarat, AP, and Maharashtra and Punjab. Okay, so put the heading. Only write the introduction part of cotton and jute in your notebook. By the time you can see that video. बाकी सब तो वहाँ से ही learn कर लो, है ना? Introduction part. Very few people understand what is jute. Tomorrow you got this one for Nehru student.
So the lecture is cancelled.
Yes. Then for the class Q.
So my answer.
Seriously?
Yes, from Monday.
Oh my.
The first paper is.
Anyway, you're not going to come.
No.
If I put some lectures in.
No.
How about you, man?
No idea.
Even I am going for some urgent work. That's the reason I. It is while writing only you can listen and watch. This is that jute. But she's very happy, Sam. Suddenly, easily cancel. Monday is the exam.
From Monday we have an
Jute occupies a very important position among the fiber crop and is the most important cash crop. Jute is also used for making mats, bag, sack, tarpaulins, ropes, and twines etc. The jute sticks are largely used as fuel and also for making gunpowder, charcoal, as a raw material for coarser paper. Resin bonded pressed jute sticks make durable hardboard.
And then be packed and ready. Watch the video and skip to your house. Go home and have the food and start studying. थोड़ा सा पीछे खींच ले वेट यू राइट ये एसी तुम लोग को इतना दोनों क्यों चाहिए बंद नहीं करता ये दिखा था जूट बैग
Jute occupies a very important
and these are long staples like cotton, not cotton, sorry.
Position among the fiber crop and is the most important cash crop. Jute is also used for making mats, bag, sack, tarpaulins, ropes, and twines etc. The jute sticks are largely used as fuel and also for making gunpowder, charcoal, as a raw material for coarser paper. Resin bonded jute sticks make durable hardboard. Cultivation. Jute requires a clean, clod-free field with fine till.
These are the seeds.
The land is plowed, cross-plowed, and planted several times. All weeds are thoroughly removed. Sowing in shrubs and islands.
Seeds रहेगा जूट का कॉफी के साथ
For broadcast summer, the seed rates are 10 and 7 kilograms per hectare for capsularias and clitoris varieties. Seedlings are thin-outed broadcast plots. This operation is carried out in 2 installments, once when the seedlings are about 10 centimeters and subsequently when they are about 15 centimeters tall. In row cropping A, single row seed drill is used to sow the capsulars varieties 30 centimeters apart and the clitoris varieties 20 centimeters apart, 7.5 centimeters. Sowing is always done shallow. Fertilizer. Acid soils require amendment with 3 to 7 tons of lime in 3 years. Compost or farmyard manure requirement at the rate of 4 to 7 tons per hectare. Phosphorus P2O5 and potash K2O are applied as basal nutrients, whereas nitrogen is topped addressessed into its tolerant and 40 to 80 kilograms per hectare for capsulars varieties, 20 to 60 kilograms per hectare for
ये इंग्लिश में समझ सिर्फ देर लो
P, half of the quantity of N, and K, quantity equal to N. Harvesting and storage.
They are cutting very
Should
close to the
be
ground.
harvested any time between 120 and 150 days. Early harvesting gives fine fiber of good quality. The compromise between quality and quantity is found in harvesting at the early pod static, yield around 135 days of crop. Harvesting is done by cutting the plant set or close to the ground level.
Now they are doing
Before the
renting.
plant,
They put it in
plants
the
are
water.
included. The harvested plants are left in field for 2 to 3 days for the leaves to shed. The average is 13 quintals per hectare, 27 quintals in the case of the capsularis varieties. The maximum potential being 40 quintals and 37 quintals respectively.
They will put again deep inside the pond for renting.
Stripping, fiber extraction when there is a plenty of water.
These are mud systems, so that the पानी में डूबा रहेगा.
Ditches or slow moving streams and left for 5 to 15 days underwater. The bunch of stem is held in one hand and the root end tapped lightly with a mallet. After loosens the rest of fibers, fibers are extracted and washed. Washing and drying extracted fibers are washed in clean water. The dark color of fibers can be removed by dipping them in
Is it
tamarind
golden
for
brown?
15 to 20 minutes and again washed in clean water. After squeezing excess water, the fibers are hung on bamboo railing for sun drying for 2 to 3 days. Thanks for watching video. Please subscribe this channel.
Next week I'll show you cotton also. Okay. Yeah, perfectly on time.